Welcome into another exciting edition of Locked On 76ers. Keith Pompey, Marc Farzetta, the feel-good video of the summer, Keith. Joel Embiid works out, and all of us lose our minds. We'll talk about that and more, as Kelly Oubre also happens to be in his feels. Talk about that on today's episode of Locked On 76ers.
You are Locked On 76ers, your daily Philadelphia 76ers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And we do thank you for making Locked On 76ers your first listen every day, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Keith, yesterday, the 76ers, now this is important, in anything that is out there in the universe on the World Wide Web, whether it's X, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, all of it. I always consider the source. Who is putting it out there? What is putting it out there? The 76ers themselves, on their own social media account, posted video. VJ Edgecombe throwing down a dunk. Okay. Paul George lifting weights. And Joel Embiid having a little one-on-one drill there without, good sir, a knee brace on. Now, just for the people that want to zapruder this, for the people that want to break it down, for the people that want to put it under the microscope, I believe that you have Janai Broom in the background of this shot. And obviously, VJ Edgecombe throwing it down at practice, but also leads you to believe that this is all current video. This is all very recent video being shot at the practice facility in Camden. So, Keith, I'm going to go ahead and call this the feel-good movie of the summer. Just seeing him out there, it's the best possible thing. I'll even put it above VJ Edgecombe's 28-point game in the Summer League. This makes me very excited to see Joel Embiid at least working out. Not just working out, but working out with the team without a brace.
Yeah, it is the feel-good video of the summer. Let's be honest. Okay, it's two ways to look at it. You can say to yourself, dude, you guys gave us a 5-second snippet of him scoring a mid-ranger against a coach, a player development guy, right? But the thing is, though, when we look at it, it kind of leads you to believe, because there was no one talking over it. There was no follow-up. There was no press conference. But it leads you to believe that Joel Embiid could be ready for the start of training camp, right? It leads you to believe that. The one thing two things stood out to me in that video. Now, again, it was only a 5-second video, but he didn't have a brace on, right? The second thing is that he looks trimmer. He looks slimmed down. So to me, it does make you feel good. Now, you got to realize something about it is that Paul George did say a week ago that everyone is healthy and they're going to be ready to go. Now, when he said that, we're all like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we'll see. I mean, it does give you something to feel good about, because you look at Joel Embiid out there and he's not lumbering. He doesn't have a brace on. Now, who knows? Maybe he doesn't have a brace on just because it was a one-on-one thing, and where it wasn't a lot of lateral movement. He wasn't running up and down the court. But at the same time, it looked better than he did, all last season for the most part, right? So, yeah, it is a feel-good thing.
I'll say this. I'm sorry, how much more money is he owed over the next 4 years?
Yeah.
If there's any chance of doing anything to tweak anything, any chance to inspire a setback, whatever you want to call it, he's wearing a brace and he's in bubble wrap. Like that's so for him to not have that on, even in a look, yes, it's a shooting drill. He does have someone. My coach used to call it token defense, providing the token defense.
That's what it is.
Just being a defense.
That's what it is.
Just being a body. That's what it is. Just being a body. So, look, he's moving around a little bit. He's dribbling a little bit, very little. But the fact that he's out there without the brace, as you said, is great. And look, when it comes to Joel Embiid, I know not a lot of people trust that he will be ready for the opener of the season. And you know why the people don't trust that he'll be ready? Because Joel Embiid said basically, yeah, I'm going to take my time. I'm not going to be rushing back. When I feel good, I'll come back. Maybe he feels himself that he's maybe even ahead of schedule. Maybe Daryl Morey was not talking out of his you-know-what during the draft after they drafted VJ Edgecombe and said, we believe that Joel Embiid will be ready for training camp. We'll believe it, all this stuff, blah, blah. And we all went, yeah, right, whatever. We read the ESPN article that says, yeah, I'm gonna do this on my own pace. Nobody else is. And I'm thinking, yeah, Joel Embiid, you do you, man. Take accountability for it, please. Take your time. All that I really care about is that he's healthy and ready to roll into the playoffs. That's what I care about. But if you're able to somehow, Keith, this is where my most optimistic thoughts went. What if this was the Joel Embiid revenge tour? What if this was, you think I'm cooked? You think I'm done? To hell with that. I just wasn't healthy. I'll show you. I would love to see Joel Embiid attack a season like that, like he really still would have something to prove to the rest of the NBA and the Sixers fans, because guess what? He does have something to prove. But to see him play like that, I think that would put a lot of smiles on Sixers fans' faces.
I would agree. And I do think that if I'm Joel Embiid, even if you're capable of doing it or not, you have to think that way, right? You do. I mean, you have to use all this as motivation. I mean, you look at him, he is slimmed down. He was working on his mid-range jumper. You have to come out there and say, look, these people doubted me, right? But at the same time, with that being said, you still can't rush back. And even though we've seen this video, and it does bring a lot of optimism, what I mean by rushing back is kind of sort of like, if your body is telling you like the first 2 preseason games is not going to work, then don't do it. If your body is telling you that, that 15-hour flight is bad on your knees and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Don't do it, right? They'll have 2 more preseason games to get you ready. But at the same time, yeah, it does give you the motivation and like everything that everybody said for you to have a pretty good year. Now, again, and what I said is you can't be too like amped up to a point where you're going to mess yourself up too. Like, I don't expect him to play in a plethora of games, right? Now, here's the one thing though, is a reason why that video came out too, right? I mean, if we're going to be real with it, right?
Yeah,
no one's talking about the 76ers right now. Like, everything is all about the Phillies, and it's baseball season. The Eagles, everybody's EAGLES Eagles. But everyone's talking about the 76ers like, all right, if they win 40 games, that's a great season. So all of a sudden, it's like a day after they come out with these promos talking about it's the 25th anniversary of them making the conference finals. The NBA finals. They come out with 14 games that they're going to highlight people. Well, also they're coming in my email. I received something for single game tickets, right? Well, people are saying, well, who are we going to go watch? Well, then all of a sudden we see Joel Embiid out there shooting. So it's one of those things where, yes, it does bring out optimism, but we also got to realize that this is something that the 76ers put out there to let everyone know, like, don't forget about us. Joel is going to play. He looks pretty good.
Stop talking about Philly's Karen. Joel Embiid is shooting jump shots.
Yeah, Joel Embiid is coming. Like, so, it is one of those things. Now, again, it is great to see, but I wonder if Joel feels like, I hope y'all ain't putting pressure on me to come back too soon. Like, yeah, I'm out here shooting jumpers, but I'm not playing 5-on-5 yet. Now, maybe he is, but it just, it's one of those things where you just got to walk that fine line and make sure everything is okay, but it will sell tickets now. It will sell tickets.
I mean, we were joking before, we hit go on the show here. We were joking about how, the Sixers should have released at least a 10-minute video and put that out there at Joel Embiid working out, just with the clicks alone, man, you'd have enough money to maybe not have to trade Kelly Oubre or Andre Drummond. We'll get to the Oubre thing and be able to pay Quinton Grimes that money, especially after Josh Giddey just got paid. More on that later. But I'll say this. I think the most important thing, as you mentioned, is the idea of if your body is saying no, don't let your mind say, no, I got to push through this and I got to show everybody that I could come back the first game of the season and I'm ready for training camp and I can go to Abu Dhabi and be on top of my game. No. If you're not feeling it, listen to your body. Listen to your body before you think how you have to push through it. Listen to your body before you listen to your brain. Because look, as far as Joel Embiid goes, and I've said this throughout the entire offseason, I want this to be at his pace. I want him to hold himself accountable and be ready for the start of the season if that's what happens. But if he doesn't come back till January, I'm fine with that too. This makes me feel like, as you said, yeah, he could in fact be ready for training camp. And that would make a lot of people excited in the city of Philadelphia. That's for sure.
I mean, no matter what, this was a good sign. I mean, this was a good sign for people to see no breaks. I mean, to also see him slim down, and you're like, okay, it's a great sign. But again, you still got, if you're Joel, like you said, you still got to be careful.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right, when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about that. Also, how about this? Kelly Oubre up in his feelings a little bit. I've turned myself president of the Kelly Oubre fan club, Keith. But unfortunately, he's not feeling the love right now in Philadelphia. More on that in a second. This is Locked On Sixers, Locked On Sixers YouTube channel. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Back right after this. For the win. Have you guys taken advantage of what they have to offer with 5-Hour Energy? Time to fuel up and turn it up with 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. This grape, ginger, and lime flavored shot brings the iconic taste of a golf course favorite to a non-alcoholic boost. Perfect for sinking birdies and making great memories with friends. It's a hole-in-one for your energy game. What do you think about this? Last minute, maybe you're added to the foursome. Hey, we need a fourth. Can you make it out? Yeah, I can make it out. A quick sip of that. You're out there with a great flavor and that great energy boost you need to help the team. Maybe it's a scramble event. Need that boost? This is what can help you. Golf is all about good times with good people, good flavors. Grape, ginger, lime flavor of 5-Hour Energy Transfusion gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without leaving the course or chasing down the beverage cart. It's right there with 5-Hour Energy. Now you can amp up the fun even more. Just buy, snap, and enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for two to any golf tournament in the United States of America. Tee up that trip and visit 5FIVE-HE-win.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Excludes the Masters tournament. Ends October 31st, 2025 with 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. Look, I'm not putting us on the same level, Keith, as NBA players or professional athletes, but we're out there in the public eye. We do things publicly. This show is just not for you and me. It's for everybody, okay? We get comments. We get tweeted at. We get posts about, and I just never understand how someone could let a complete stranger make them get all up in their feels. Okay, that's just me. I can't speak for you. I can't speak for Kelly Oubre. I can't speak for anybody else but myself. The recent news that came about with the report, I'll say this, the report that came about from Jake Fisher saying that the 76ers are shopping, interested in trading, making available Andre Drummond and Kelly Oubre to help cover the cost of what it could cost to keep Quinton Grimes here in Philadelphia. We talked about it on this show. People commented on it, obviously. And then Kelly Oubre took to social media to say, I love Philly, but the love doesn't seem reciprocated. This is what he's posting on Insta, I believe it is. What happened to this place? And for those saying I'm garbage because of my three-point percentage, that went down. Still put up numbers, and I'd still cook you. I'd play through finger injuries on my left hand, thumb, and pinky for 3 years, but still put my soul into this stuff. That's the one thing only God can take for me. Hope to see y'all soon. Godspeed. I don't think he is garbage at all. We actually had someone commented on the show yesterday, and we defended Kelly Oubre. Not that our goal was to defend him, but our goal is to be truthful. And I in no way, shape, or form want Kelly Oubre gone. I want him to stay right here in Philadelphia. I do not want to trade him at all. I don't get why Kelly Oubre is becoming a lightning rod when this team has so many other issues.
Yeah, this team has so many other issues. Here's the thing. I don't really have a problem with what he said now, because here's the thing. Like, a lot of times we always want athletes to be transparent and say how they feel. But then at the same time, when they do it, we like, come on, man, you can't do it. Now, again, we get it. You and I, we get criticized too, but not on the level that he is. We just cover teams, and people may not like our takes and they'll become critical. He's actually a player. I feel like it's two things here. Like, he is basically saying, look, y'all, I gave my blood, sweat, and tears for you guys for a couple of years playing injured. And, now all of a sudden you want me out, and which could hurt a little bit, especially when we think about it. His first year, they loved Oubre. People were saying he was better than Tobias Harris. They wanted him to be the guy. So it can be a little hurt piece. But the one thing that Kelly has to understand is that, this is stuff that's happening on social media. And right now, Quinton Grimes is the new toy. He is. He's the guy that everyone's saying we got to just get one more piece, and then he'd come out and everything's going to be great, because he's the new toy. And just like Kelly was the new toy. But as long as you go out there and you put and you play and you bust your tail, everything is going to be okay. Another thing you got to realize is that a lot of times people who are saying stuff on social media, and I'm sorry, peeps, but everybody knows it, it's easier to say something about a player when you don't see that person face to face. Like, we call them cyber gangsters. You know what I mean? Like, blah, 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 blah. You typing it up, hitting the send button and laughing and joking about it. So it's great that Kelly expressed how he feels, but at the same time, bro, don't worry about it, because just continue to do what you do. Maybe you got caught up with all the love and everything everyone was saying, but you got to know that this is a sports town, a tough sports town at that. So people are going to be critical. But when you let somebody's emotions or what they say when they're hitting the send button on social media, you can't let it get to you. Now, again, I appreciate you saying what you say and opening up. But at the same time, bro, just play hard and do what you got to do.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And look, I don't mind if that's how somebody feels. Yeah, go ahead and put it out there. For me, I just can't understand how that gets to the core. Plus, if you've been doing everything possible to give it any more attention, I find it just wild to me. But the other part of it is anyone that's going to criticize, a lot of those guys, if they saw Kelly Oubre out in public, they'd be, oh, dude, can I get a selfie? Can I go, Kelly Oubre, what's up? Like, they'd be all, they'd be all loving up on the guy. The other thing is, just from a basketball perspective, I love Kelly Oubre on this team. I think he knows how to fit the role. I think part of the reason people were booing Tobias Harris but loving him, number one, he was producing and he wasn't costing you a fraction of what Tobias Harris was getting. He never earned that deal. And that's another reason why Tobias Harris was obviously not exactly admired while he was here in Philadelphia, and people were just waiting out that contract. But Oubre is that guy that will show you that emotion on the court as well. Yeah, he'll knock down threes. He'll play defense. He'll if he's got to hide in the corner, he'll hide in the corner. And then I go to this every time we talk about him. His point, you might look at his stat sheet after the game and see 8 points, 12 points, 15 points, and think, oh, whatever, not that great a game. But he knows when to hit that next gear when everybody else might be hitting a lull. Not that they're getting tired or not that they're struggling, but they might just be they're off a little bit shooting, whatever it is. They can't convert. They're not finished at the rim. Oubre just knows how to pick his spots in the game to make himself more of a focal point. It's not for a game that he does it. You're not going to get, what was it, a 27-point game, 32-point game, whatever it was, against the Raptors. Those are few and far between for him. But he has that in him. But most importantly, he knows how to be a background guy. He doesn't need a lot of touches to have an impact on this team. He'll do it with rebounds. He'll do it with steals. He'll do it with defense. He'll do it with just being the guy to spread the floor and be in the corner hiding if that's what he needs to do. I think this team, someone like that on this team is invaluable. And especially at the price, I think it's perfect.
No doubt. And the question is, like, when you talk about like trading him, and we talked about this before, you're asking yourself, what are you really trying to do? Do you know what you want to do this year? Like, right now you're showing videos of Joel Embiid out there working. So what that is, it's giving optimism. And we all know in order for you to win a championship, you got to have some valuable players, some players who can be role players that's going to help the team. If you're trying to trade Kelly Oubre to give money to a restricted free agent, to write down that there's no money out there, that that this guy is probably going to have to take, opt in to the qualifying offer. It's like, okay, you're not going to lose him to anybody because you can match it. So are you telling me you don't want to win this year? Like, honestly, are you telling me that? Because, like, you need Kelly Oubre to win. And I know, I get it. A lot of people are talking about, but we got VJ Edgecombe. We got Jared McCain. We have all these guys. Kelly Oubre is an NBA veteran. You know what you're going to get out of him. Right now, Jared McCain is coming off of an injury. You hope and pray that, I do expect him to be playing back at a level that he's used to playing at. But people forget, when you first come back, it's going to be several months before you get back into that rhythm to play to that level that you played at. VJ Edgecombe is a rookie. He has a high upside, but he's still a 19-year-old rookie, right? 19, 20-year-old rookie. Kelly Oubre has been in the league for like 8+, 9+ years. So you know what you're going to get. So to me, if you're willing to trade him just to give this guy some money, and again, I get it. I want him to get the money, right? But if that's the reason that you're trading him, that means you're telling me that you think that you got a 30-win, 40-win team roster on your team, and you don't think you can compete. But if you think you can compete, you better keep Oubre and you better keep Drummond, or unless you can get somebody that's going to upgrade the roster, not for expiring contracts and second round picks and stuff like that. No, that's not going to work.
No, I'm absolutely with you there. I'm trying to find it because here it is. Errol Holmes. Hello. I'm not religious, but I pray 60 games for Embiid. That'd be incredible. That would be absolutely incredible. Right. And because that'd be incredible, that means that maybe 50, 45 would be nice. So if you're telling me 45, 50 games Joel Embiid plays, and then you're talking about 32 games he doesn't play, you're going to need Andre Drummond. You're going to need Andre Drummond to be here. You're also going to need somebody else to be very versatile between power forward, playing the 3, and playing the 2. And Kelly Oubre can certainly do that. I'm not moving on either. Phil Evans, as long as our offense isn't dump it to Embiid and watch.
Yeah. Meaning he doesn't. You get it. You know what he's saying. He doesn't.
I know what he's saying. I can't. Yeah, I just don't think that's the Sixers' offense. I mean, I think the Sixers' offense, they give it to Embiid and they want to like dump it to Embiid. Just makes me think of him on the block, which he rarely is. That's the only thing. But I get what he's saying. Reggie M, I always believed he'd be ready for the first game. Joel was trolling a little in that article. He's pretty calculating. Well, I will certainly not disagree with that. That's for sure. All right, when we come back, I can't believe it. Well, actually, I can believe it because, Keith, you hinted at it yesterday. You sly man, you. When we get to this, we have some real stuff today. We have some real stuff today, Keith. We have Joel Embiid working out. We have Kelly Oubre in his fields. And a true update that moves the needle on our repeating bit, Grimes Watch. All that and more when we return. Locked on 76ers. Josh Giddey agrees to terms of the Chicago Bulls. 4 years, $100 million deal. Keith, he was one of the dominoes. It was Kuminga. Giddey, one of the dominoes, Cam Thomas, one of the dominoes knocking down before the domino that says Quinton Grimes on it gets knocked down. Are we trending in the right direction, Keith?
Yeah, we are. Now it's a matter of saying, okay, Josh Giddey, how much did he make? Well, let's compare what he did. Let's compare Quentin Grimes to him and then see what we can give him. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're trending in the right direction. And I do think that is one of those things where, Quentin Grimes, the team, the guys are back there working out, right? The summertime, Quentin was on vacation. He was doing whatever, he was working out too, but not with the 76ers. Now it's that time where, media day is going to be September the 26th. It's September the 9th now. The team is going to fly out to Abu Dhabi on the 28th, right? Well, I want to be on that plane. I want to be a part of this team. I don't want to fall behind. I want to be a part of it. So, and I think the 76ers want that as well. Like, they want him to be here now. It's kind of like what we always talked about. You're not in a rush to do something, and you want to do it right before the deadline, but also you want to wait to see what other people are because you want to gauge what the market is. And Josh Giddey just set the market. So you ask yourself, is he as good as Josh Giddey? Is he this impactful? Well, if so, then maybe we'll match it. If not, we'll probably won't. The difference is that Josh Giddey is playing on a team that's going to be trash again, and he's going to be the face of that team, probably. So, it's one of those things where he's going to be the first or second option, whereas you look at Quentin Grimes, if everyone's healthy, he's going to be the fourth or fifth option. You know what I mean? So that's the only difference.
Oh, yeah.
But how impactful is he to the Sixers? They have to decide that.
So a couple months ago, story comes out. He wants $25 million. Giddey gets $25 million here. Does Quentin Grimes get what we had talked about in that story with I want $25 million. Does this help his cause where he gets more money than originally anticipated? Because, I mean, it certainly looks like that 8.7 is completely out the window. Does Giddey getting $25 million help Quentin Grimes get closer to that number?
You know what? I do. I don't know if he'll get the 25, but I do think that it could help him. You know what I mean? Not get 25, but maybe 20. Right. How that one goes.
Yeah.
I know he asked for 25.
Sure.
But maybe they may look at it as, but we'll settle for 20, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I absolutely.
Now, I do think if Josh Giddey would have received 18, nah, bro, you weren't getting 20 or 25. you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I do think it helps out. I think it does help out. I do think it helps out. I do.
I think the Sixers, Daryl Morey saw that yesterday and just went, damn it. I was really hoping it'd be a little bit less. No, I'm sure he knew it was going to be around that $25 million mark. But if Giddey's getting less money, then obviously Grimes is going to get less money. And now it's not as much less money as they would have hoped, the 76ers, that is.
Yeah, but that 20, that's still pretty good now. That's
great.
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
Absolutely.
That's pretty good. I would take that in a heartbeat. But again, I'm a guy trying to worry about how I'm going to pay my daughter's college tuition. Where he's a dude talking about, can I get another ride?
Right.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it's different.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of people that don't have to worry about paying tuition, Locked On. How about that for a segue, Keith? I'm a professional. Locked On Top 100 out and about, ladies and gentlemen. We got it out there. Make sure you guys are checking this out, of course. We'll be flipping through some of these. Keith and I are out there, obviously, giving our opinions on the social
83.
media. Josh Giddey's out there at 83. How about that for you, boy? And then you look at the 71 through 80. Paul George comes in at number 76. And then middle of the pack, Joel Embiid comes in at number 52. And Tyrese Maxey came in at number 38. We're going to stop it right here. We'll do a little bit more of it tomorrow, but Joel Embiid, you and I were asked about this. He is right after Rudy Gobert. He's right in front of Draymond Green, right smack dab in the middle of those two at 52. I know our takes are out there for people to see, but 52.
Yeah, man. Can you put it up again real quick? Like if
Absolutely.
you had it, like my thing is, it's kind of like, okay, so you got him right ahead of Draymond Green. Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
I mean, no offense to Draymond. I mean, and then like marketing is like 3 behind him. You know, Rudy Gobert is ranked ahead of him. Like, I don't know. I think that's a little. I think that's disrespectful. Like,
well, I think what it's saying is he's hurt.
It's saying that he's hurt, but at the same time, I get it. It's saying that he's hurt, but how do you drop from being the MVP and arguably the best player in the league? I mean, when healthy, to dropping all the way to 54 when you're hurt, like, you know, I mean, it's kind of like, yo, that's. I mean, I get it. Don't get me wrong, I get it, but that's a huge drop, dude. I mean, and like, I mean, they just think that he's shot and he's not coming back. Like, I don't know, man. I just think that's kind of like disrespectful. Or look at this, like another guy, not even on the list, but I mean, not on for the Sixers. But you look at Kyrie Irving, like one of the most electrifying point guards out there. You know, he's ranked like 39 or something like that. So to me, it's 40, like, you know what I mean, behind a Zubac, like, you know what I mean, like, nah, man, I don't know, and I just don't understand it. I
think it's based on what are you going to do for me this year, more so than what is your talent, like how talented are you?
Yeah, I guess.
That's the only way you can justify it.
Yeah, that's the only way you can justify it. But 54, I still think that's kind of like low or high, you know, for Embiid. I still think that Embiid, I mean, dude, he's still one of the best centers in the league. You know what I mean?
Now here's my question. Here's my question, Keith. What if that Sixers video of him working out dropped before the top 100 came out? We talking top 3?
Yeah. No, maybe not that high. But yeah, maybe not that high, but yeah. But you know, I hope Maxey gets motivated too by that 37.
Where did he? Yeah, 38.
38. You know what I mean? 38.
Come on now. Knock it off with that. Keith, we'll continue to break this down throughout the week. We'll continue to follow all workout videos from Joel Embiid. By the way, I will say one more time, it came from the Sixers. I love that. It didn't come out from like some private workout Joel Embiid was having. That I think is also a great plus. We'll break it down further tomorrow. His name is Keith Pompey. My name is Marc Farzetta. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to Locked On 76ers. Look forward to breaking it all down when it comes to your 10-9-8 76ers tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Catch you guys tomorrow. See you then.